Good evening. Thank you for coming out tonight for our Meet the Candidates Forum, Night 2. We'll begin this evening with the county coroner's candidates. We'll have a standard question and answer session. I do want to go over the rules once again. All participants will conduct themselves with professional dispositions and provide direct and specific answers to those questions posed by the moderator. There will be no mudslinging and false allegations made during the forum discussions. If a candidate is challenged on a point of order, then they will have an opportunity to rebut. We'll provide a round of questions, and each candidate should limit their response to 1 to 2 minutes per round. Any questions? All right. Mr. Smith, would you please describe your understanding of the role of coroner and what are some of the initiatives that you would like to implement as the county coroner?
My understanding is for the role of the coroner's office is to determine the manner and cause of death and any death that is located or happens outside of the facility, inside the county as a whole. That would be any type of 911 call that EMS would be called to where there would be someone that has passed. You have deaths that happen at the emergency department at Advent Health Manchester. Then any other death that any question could be raised about, the coroner would investigate that as well.
Are there initiatives as county coroner you'd like to implement, efficiencies, improvements, ideas or thoughts you have?
As an employee of the Clay County Ambulance Service, I would like to implement a response time for the coroner's office. Typically we see a response time around 45 minutes to an hour of response time. That ties up our county ambulances to respond to other emergencies. Once the coroner gets on scene or a deputy coroner gets on scene, you would be able to release that ambulance to return to service so that they could serve someone else during their emergency.
Now, improving response time will be a challenge in a rural area, obviously, right? But it is a worthwhile ambition and goal. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. How would you maintain order and safety at an accident or incident scene? How would you preserve that scene and maintain order and safety?
My number one goal in responding to any type of scene, whether it be an accident scene, a residence, anything like that, the first order of business would be securing the scene. Usually the coroner's office would work alongside law enforcement in doing that. You would secure the scene. If you have, depending on the manner of the death, you would proceed with your investigation process from there. But securing the scene with the assistance of law enforcement is the first and foremost priority.
Thank you. Why is it important to have relevant and updated training as a county coroner?
As far as training goes, there's something to be learned every single day. There is not one incident that you respond to that is textbook. I learned that in my 10 years at the ambulance service. They teach you everything by textbook and you learn every single day by hands-on experience and continuing education training. That goes alongside the work in the coroner's office. There's always new education out. There's new disease processes. There's new ways to determine certain different types of diseases and manners of death that those also obviously change or could change. And that would be the biggest importance of continuing education to keep your training up to date.
Why is it important to have a county coroner that's involved with those other agencies and developing those relationships?
The coroner's office is not an office that is ran solely with the assistance from the coroner. There's other agencies that assist on every incident. First and foremost, if it's a 911 call that goes out, the ambulance service is the first response. Then typically you have the fire departments respond and also law enforcement. So my biggest priority is having a great working relationship with all three of those agencies, because if you can't work alongside those agencies, then you're going to run into issues when it comes to working scenes and handling high stress situations. And if you have a better working relationship with those individuals and those agencies, it makes everything go a whole lot better.
Thank you for that.
Question? education have you had previously on what a coroner does?
I currently served as a deputy coroner for 3 years. I started under our previous coroner, Danny Finley, prior to his retirement. I did become a certified deputy coroner in the state of Kentucky, which I still hold that certification, and also have 10 years experience and training in the medical field as a licensed EMT.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you for that question from the voter in the audience. Why should you be elected to the office of county coroner?
As I just spoke of, my experience alone, I'm the only candidate that is currently certified as a coroner in the state of Kentucky and has extensive medical background and training. And I continue to further my education in the medical field alongside seeking office for coroner. And also my biggest priority is showing compassion to every family member on every coroner's call, no matter where that decedent is from, whose family they are. Everyone gets treated the same, no matter their history, their background. Everyone is someone's loved one, and they need to be treated with respect as well.
Absolutely. Is there something you would like to share with voters that we didn't ask you about that you feel is important for the voter to know about Mr. Smith?
My biggest, aside from my experience, the only other thing I would like to inform all the voters is I am not affiliated with any particular funeral home. I've never worked for either funeral home. I've worked alongside both of them great. And I've worked with other area funeral homes as well, along with other deputy coroners in other counties, assisting them in calls that might run over into Clay County or calls that come from Clay County over into surrounding counties like Jackson, Laurel, Lacey, and different counties like that.
Any other last question from the audience? Thank you, Mr. Smith, for coming out this evening, sharing some time with the voters of Clay County.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
We'll make a short transition as we get ready for magistrates, districts 1 through 3.